Democrat Virg Bernero versus Republican Rick Snyder. That's your 2010 race for governor, and tonight we're taking a closer look at the candidates, specifically their money. How much did they spend to get where they are now? Who's financing them, and how much more will it cost? 24-Hour News 8's Danny Carlson's been looking at these numbers all day long, and she joins us now live with more. Danny?
Brian, experts anticipate that the two candidates for governor, Rick Snyder and Virg Bernero, will spend about a combined $30 million leading up to that election in November. And that's after the two already spent about $8 million just for this primary race. But as we found out today, talking to those experts, they said the numbers don't always tell the entire story.
Thank you for your great effort.
State records show Rick Snyder was the biggest contributor to his primary campaign. He put in nearly $6 million of his own money and only accepted other donations from individuals, none higher than $3,400. Virg Bernero reported raising about $740,000. His big donations coming from his Lansing mayoral campaign, the Michigan Education Association, and the United Auto Workers. But talking on the phone tonight to Rich Robinson, the executive director of Michigan Campaign Finance Network, he says fundraising numbers candidates report to the state don't always tell the whole story.
I think voters should take note of those disclaimers on the end of advertisements that say who's paid for the advertisement. And if it's not the candidate committee, there's a very high probability that that money will remain off the books and we'll never know who put it in.
Robinson says Bernero's bid for the nomination included a lot of support from third-party groups. Those groups raised and spent about twice as much as Bernero's official campaign.
So effectively, two-thirds of his campaign was offshored, run by a different entity. And as it turns out, that's an entity that will not report any of its contributions or expenditures.
So what does that mean for the general election?
It's hard to project a trajectory from where we are now.
Robinson says that all depends on if the two candidates run like they did in the primary or if they change game plans. But one thing Robinson says is for sure, you can expect to see lots of third-party ads leading up to November.
Club for Growth PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Our expert tells us, as far as he can tell, Snyder's funding is 100% reported. Now, overall in the governor's race, all the Republicans raised about $14 million to the Democrats' $2.2 million, and the finance numbers that we cited in that story didn't count late contributions. A post-primary fundraising report is expected out in the beginning of September. At the live desk, Danny Carlson, 24-Hour News 8.